Everyone, welcome to Gentle Yoga. Today we're going to need a strap, a block, and a chair. And we're going to begin laying on our back, so we'll be in Shavasana. Do be close to a wall actually as well. We're going to be using a wall in a minute. So be pretty close to the wall. And have your block within reach. If you don't have a block, you could always use a stack of books or a pillow. But just laying down, relaxation pose. And please take a moment to just check in with your body. And just honoring whatever's present for you today in your mind, your body, your breath. And simply allowing it to be here and be with you during this practice, playing around with letting it go as well. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and let it out. And then draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Rock a little side to side. Land the feet on the mat, heels underneath knees. And we'll do just a couple pelvic tilts. So with an exhale, round the low back, tummy in, press it to the mat. Inhale, low back comes away from the mat. A few more times like that. Exhale, flatten low back to the mat. Inhale, low back comes away from the mat. Last one. And then lift your hips. You're going to grab your block and slide the block underneath your pelvis. So we want the block below the low back in a supported bridge. Feel free to let your arms come alongside the body or hands to your belly. Let your belly get really soft. If you walk your feet a little wider than your knees and let your knees fall towards each other, you'll not have to work so much perhaps to keep the feet on the floor and the knees bent. And see if you can lengthen your exhale so that it's twice as long as the inhale. Really let your head release to the floor. And I'd like to just start our class by reading the parable of the farmer's luck. There once was an old farmer who had worked his crops for many years. One day his horse ran away. Upon hearing the news, his neighbors came to visit. "Such bad luck," they said. "Maybe," the farmer replied. The next morning the horse returned, bringing with it 2 other wild horses. "Such good luck," the neighbors replied. "Maybe," said the farmer. The following day his son tried to ride one of the untamed horses and was thrown off and broke his leg. Again the neighbors came to offer their sympathy in his misfortune. "Such bad luck," they said. "Maybe," answered the farmer. The day after that, the military officials came to the village to draft young men in their army to fight in the war. Seeing the son's leg was broken, they passed him by. "Such good luck," cried the neighbors. "Maybe," said the farmer. Exhale every bit of air out of your lungs. And then take the biggest breath in you can and hold the breath. And then when you're ready, open the mouth, let it out. Press the feet into the floor, lift the hips and remove the block, and bring the pelvis back to the mat. You can just put your block off to the side for now, and gently drawing the knees into the chest, give yourself a hug. Welcoming yourself to your practice, welcome. And then release the feet to the mat once more. I'd like you to pivot, find your wall, and we're going to do mountain pose at the wall. So you're going to press your feet into your wall. And in mountain pose, our feet are hips width distance apart, so there's probably just a handful of inches between your toes. Your toes are pointing up towards the sky. And find that neutral pelvis. And then bring the palms together in front of your heart. Really press the heels into the wall, the feet into the wall, until the muscles of the legs really hug to the bone. And if your back is feeling kind of tense and tight, you might find that you need to adjust the position of your pelvis. Maybe you lengthen the back of the pelvis towards the wall a little bit. Stay active and firm in the legs. And then we're just going to move with our breath. So on an inhale, you're going to sweep your arms out to the sides and then up overhead. On the exhale, sweep the arms back out to the sides and then palms come together. Keep moving with your breath as you inhale nice and slow, strong legs, reaching out and up. Exhale. Palms come together in front of your heart. Keep moving. Have the tummy toned in, particularly as the arms come overhead. Getting as much length as you can in the upper body as you work on the strength of the legs. Next time the arms come back overhead, we're going to pause there. Palms will face each other. The hands can be either actually together or apart, but nice and strong in this arms overhead mountain pose. Gazing at the ceiling, maybe chin slightly down to keep the back of the neck long. Last breath in. And as you exhale, bring the arms back down alongside the body and let your right knee come into the chest. So right knee comes into the chest. You can grab a hold of the back of the right leg or the shin and keep pressing the left leg strong into the mat. Now, if you notice one hip or that right hip tries to get a little higher, level it out, neutral pelvis. And so notice, can you keep a little bit of lightness of the low back off the mat? Good, and then let's do the second side. So you're going to extend your right leg back, pressing the right foot into the wall, and then the left knee comes into the chest. Pressing that right foot in, and then notice is that left hip trying to hike up, level it out. We want to keep it level with the right. And so these same kind of things can kind of happen when we're in a standing position and we're balancing. Neutral pelvis, last breath here. Good, and then return left foot to the wall. And we'll do one more sweeping of the arms overhead. So mountain pose, Urdhva Hastasana, arms overhead. And then exhale, arms come down alongside the body. Let's gently draw the knees into the chest one more time. You can rock the legs side to side if you'd like to release any tension in the back. And then let's move this into a twist. So keeping the knees into the chest, the thighs as close to the chest as you can, extend the arms left and right, wrist in line with shoulders, and then legs go left, heart rotates right. And the closer you get your knees towards your left elbow, the the deeper the release of the low back, the mid back you may feel. Maybe head turns a little further to the right. We got about a breath or two more here. And then come back through center and second side. Turning the head to the left, and go easy on yourself. If that left shoulder's popping up a little bit off the mat, that's okay. This is just our first twist of the practice. Stay here for the exhale. Stay here for the inhale. And then exhale, bring the knees back through center, hugging the shins in. And then let's roll to one side and come on up. Find your chair, and we're going to have a seat on it. So coming to sit on the edge of the chair, head over heart over hips, walking the feet forward till the heels are underneath the knees. And we'll do a little bit of cat-cow. So on an exhale, lift the front of your pelvis, round your back, lower your head. And on the inhale, broaden the chest, tilt the pelvis forward, open the throat, open the chest. Keep moving with your breath. The exhale is the round. The inhale is the opening of the chest. And then finding that neutral spine, neutral pelvis once more. Aligned head over heart over pelvis. Let's step our left foot off to the left until now we're straddling the corner of our chair. We'll come into a warrior two chair position. So open the arms left and right. And my left arm is hovering over my left thigh. My heart and my head squared to the front, kind of beaming out the front of the chair rather. And pressing the feet down into the floor. Relax your shoulders a little bit and then reach through the middle fingers. With a nice long neck, slowly turn your head to the left, gazing over the middle finger of the left hand. And so even though we're in the chair, we can still use our legs, really nice and strong with the legs in this warrior two chair pose. And notice the length of your inhale versus the length of the exhale. Can you equal them out? And now moving to a side angle pose. We're going to just gently tap that left elbow down. We want to be sure not to collapse into the left shoulder, so stay lifted up out of that left shoulder and then swing right arm forward and then bicep over ear. Heavy in both sides of the hips towards the chair. And chin can be slightly down as you lean your head back, heart back for a deeper stretch. This is actually a bit of a twist, so if you have the space, if the breath is still flowing, you could even rotate your heart to the right a little bit. Let's take 2 more breaths here, strong legs. And come on back up. Sit forward in your chair, just regular old seat. Take a moment. And we'll do the second side. Step your right foot out to the right. Now here we're straddling the corner of the chair. Feel all four corners of the feet into the floor. And then extend the arms left and right. Heart rotating to the left a little bit. Lifted heart. Sides of the waist long. And then keeping my heart facing the same direction the left knee is pointing, I'm going to slowly turn my head to look over the middle finger of the right hand. And just check, sometimes we're extending a lot of energy through the arms, and so much so that maybe the shoulders come up to the ears. Take a moment and just relax the arms and shoulders for a second if that's the case for you. Your shoulders are high. And then move back into it. So relax shoulders, but strong arms. Gazing over the middle finger of the right hand. I one time took a surfing lesson, and the surfing teacher was like, gaze where you want to go. So you want to go to the shore, keep gazing there. Don't gaze at other surfers, because you'll crash into them, right? So what if we just used our gaze, we used our intention, gazing the direction we want to move. About 2 more breaths. And then let's move to side angle pose. Right elbow taps down, left arm swings forward, and then bicep over ear, creating this nice side angle diagonal position with the arm and the trunk. Please lift up out of the right shoulder so the chest is broad. And the chin slightly down as you move the head back in space, maybe leaning the heart back a little bit. Feel your breath. And keeping those legs strong, maybe you decide you want to rotate the heart a little bit more to the left. Good, and then we'll exhale, come on out of it. Have a seat, so bring that right foot forward. Hands on thighs, feel your breath. And then rolling the shoulders. And go both directions. And then one more shoulder roll, rolling the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Keeping a nice broad chest, let's lean the left ear to the left shoulder. Just a gentle stretch in the neck. And then maybe you'd like to roll the head back a little bit. Open heart. And then slowly rolling the chin down towards the chest. Shoulders keep moving back. Lift the head back to a neutral position. And then lean right ear to right shoulder. Really inviting, particularly that left shoulder, to move back and down the back. Perhaps leaning the head back a little bit. And then rolling the chin down towards the chest. Keep moving the shoulders back and down. And then lift the head. Come on up to stand. We're going to bring the chair, the seat of the chair, to face the, at the top of the mat. See the chair facing the back of the mat. Locate your strap, have it nearby. You could just hang it over the back of the chair. And then we'll do some chair dog. So hands will either be on the seat of the chair or on the back of the chair, depending on what's the best fit for your body. If you're feeling kind of tight, maybe the hands are on the back of the chair. But then walk your feet back, and then walking them back till the spine is really long and the hips are over the heels. I encourage you to keep the knees bent for at least a little bit until you can check out what's the position of your feet. Make sure your toes are pointing forward and the feet are just a handful of inches apart, right underneath those hip sockets. And then from there, if you'd like to start to move towards a more straightened leg position, feel free, but make sure that you can still keep the chest open. And so if you're feeling sensitive to the neck today, I would just keep the head slightly lifted so that the ears are in line with the shoulders. If you're feeling okay in your neck today, then I'd like you to slowly lower your head. Draw your tummy in a little bit more, maybe so that the low belly or the low back rounds just slightly, and then see if you can look at your belly button. Like I imagine you probably have a shirt on. I don't know, we're all working from home, aren't we? But maybe you do see your belly button. But look at your belly button. Keep pressing the legs firmly into the floor. Last breath. And then lift the head once again and just walk forward. Take your time coming up to stand. Mountain pose. So the feet are parallel. Find that neutral pelvis, tummy drawing in. And so really channeling that energy that we worked on as we were doing our reclined mountain pose on the floor. We were pressing our feet into the wall, right? Pressing down. Hug the muscles of the legs to the bone. And then inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, sweep the arms down and then together at front of your heart. So we'll do that a few more times. Keep moving with your breath. So since our pelvis is nice and neutral, hopefully we're drawing our abdominal wall in strong. And then one more time, reaching the arms overhead. Now, you can have your arms parallel overhead for a couple breaths, or maybe the palms together, your choice. But keep the core toning in, hugging your organs. Easy with the breath. And then with your next exhale, arms come down alongside the body. So we're going to do kind of a standing variation of locust pose. And you might want to be near something that you can grab if you're feeling like balance is a little challenging for you today. We will begin in our mountain pose with our hands on our hips. Check that the hips are level, tummy's in, and then you're going to lean the weight of your body onto your left foot and then slide the right leg back behind you. So I'm balancing on my left leg, my right leg's back behind me, and lifting the heart. So I'm trying to it's almost like I'm trying to just stay in mountain pose, but have one leg back behind me, right? There might be a tendency to lean forward a little bit. See if you can do your best to stay upright, the tummy's supporting you, and then reach back and just feel your right glute. See if you can firm it up if it's not firm already. And then I'd like you to externally rotate your right leg so that the toe turns out a little bit and the heel turns in. So you can really firm that right glute. I'm just seeing, we're going to build a little bit of extra muscle in that outer right glute. Tummy's in. Again, if you need to hold on to something, that's okay. Let's stay here for about a breath or two more. Good, and then land the back foot into a warrior one position. So that's where the back toes turned out on diagonal, front toes pointing forward. Bend your front knee, that's your left one. And then just make sure that all four corners of both feet are touching the floor. Slide your left hand to your low belly, pull the belly in, and then with an inhale, reach the right arm up. We're squaring our hips to the front of our mat, or our chair rather. And you're welcome to just keep the right arm overhead, or if you'd like, you can extend your left arm. Lots of strength in the legs. I like to think of like the lower body and your core like this pedestal that you hold your heart on. Your heart rests and is able to really relax with all the strength below. Feel your breath. Let's take about 2 more breaths. And then exhale. You can start and straighten the front leg, release the arms. Locate your strap or belt, rope, whatever you got at home, towel works. Grab a hold of it so that the palms are facing back behind you and your hands are about shoulder width distance apart on that rope strap. And then leave the strap kind of low. Take a moment, let your shoulders relax. And then from here, start to rip the strap apart behind you. So hopefully this is helping you get more spaciousness, more stretch in the chest, open quality. You're rotating your biceps at your inner arms towards the chair in front of you. The outer arms are rotating back behind you. Tummy in, feel your breath. And then with these strong legs, you're going to exhale and slowly tilt forward any amount. So we're getting a stretch in the front leg. We're building strength in the front leg, hugging the muscles of the front leg to the bone. Right. So this is maybe the level I would go if I'm feeling like my balance is feeling quite challenged or the legs are getting fatigued. Some of you may find that you could go more on a horizontal plane with the trunk. Watch that the shoulders don't come up to the ears. We're moving them back. You're always welcome to lift the strap a little higher. One more breath. And then exhale, slowly release the strap. You're going to bring your hands to the back of the chair, on either corner of the back of the chair, and then melt the heart towards the floor. So our upper body, our trunk is in the same position as it is in the chair dog. Creating lots of length as we use the strength in the legs. This is a really nice one to offer your body if you're feeling tension in the low back. So we're getting space between the vertebrae of the spine. We're stretching out the legs. Good, and then you're going to step forward to mountain pose. Toes forward, neutral pelvis. On an inhale, reach the arms up. On the exhale, arms go left and right, palms together. Good, do that twice more. Inhale, arms out to the sides and up. Exhale, palms together. Last one. Excellent, and then let's work on that left glute strengthener. So hands to hips, level pelvis, and then slide the left leg back behind you. So mindful that we don't lock the right knee. So our standing balancing leg, if you lock that knee, it really makes it harder to balance. I'm lifting my heart, my tummy's in strong, squaring those hips, leveling them out. And then we're going to rotate the left leg externally. So the heel goes in, the toe turns out a little bit. Slide the left hand back there, just engage that left glute. Make sure it's engaging. Keep breathing, about 2 more breaths. And then land the back foot for that warrior one position. Front knee is bent. We want to be careful not to bend the front knee beyond the heel. It's just going to be right over that heel, square off those hips. And then lifting left arm up and overhead. Keep the glutes strong here still. You're welcome to just keep the left arm up overhead, or maybe you decide to lift the right arm as well. And the place between your navel and your pubic bone, draw it in. Draw the low belly in strong. Feel the strength of the lower body. Hold the upper body so the upper body can really, in a spacious way, expand and stretch. I like to think of it too, it's like getting a really good hug, like a nice firm hug, so you can just relax. Good, and then exhale, release the arms, moving into the variation of pyramid pose. So grab a hold of your strap, folding it behind you, and just take a moment, make sure the shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, strap is down, and then start to pull the arms away from each other with the strap. Spiraling inner arms towards the chair, spiraling outer arms back behind you, nice and open chest, and then tilting the heart forward any amount with this long spine. Muscles of the legs are hugging the bone. Kneecaps are lifted, right? So the tops of the thighs, they're really engaged. Maybe you lift the strap any amount more. Maybe you lower a little bit more. Take about 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then release the strap. Bring the hands to the chair, maybe back of the chair. Or actually, yeah, bring it to the back of the chair so then you can get really long. You're pressing down through the legs. Make sure you still have quite a bit of space in your low back. Tummy's drawing in. So it's almost like you're trying to slightly round your low back by drawing your tummy in as you broaden your chest, melting your heart towards the chair. Good, okay, now let's step the left foot forward, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, arms come down and then meet together in front of the chest. Let's do that twice more. Next time the arms are up overhead, let's move from this position to chair dog. So hands to the seat or the back of the chair, step the feet back, hips balancing over heels, heart melting to the floor. Take a gander at those feet and make sure those tootsies are pointing forward. Feet are parallel. Pressing the feet down into the planet. Melting the heart towards the floor. Last breath. Good, and then walking forward. Come on up to stand. Okay, let's move to the mat. Have your chair so just the 2 front legs of the chair are on the corner, the back corner of your mat. Boom, like that. The seat is facing you. And let's come on to the floor for cobbler's pose. find that you're really rounding quite a bit in your back, play around with it. You might find that you just come into more of like Tadasana. It's kind of like a star position. The heels are away from the groin. You could stay upright, or you could fold forward. Other options would be maybe you bring the heels closer to the groin and you just sit up really tall. Some of you may be able to, in this position, fold forward as well, and that feels really helpful and healthy for the body. Whatever position you choose, we're going to be here for about 5 or 6 breaths. And noticing the inhale versus the exhale. It's not uncommon for like the inhale to be harder than the exhale or the exhale to be harder than the inhale. We all have our biases, but whatever feels more challenging to do, whichever part of the breath feels more combined, send the invitation to relax into a slower breath on that side, into a deeper exhale or a deeper inhale. You could let your belly soften. Let's stay here for a few extra breaths. And then you'll come up if you folded forward. Let's straighten the left leg. We'll just take a Janu Shirshasana for a moment. So left leg is straightened, left foot is flexed. If tilting forward is really hard, if you had a pillow or something, you could prop your hips up on that pillow. But we'll just inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, fold over your straightened leg. Maybe the hands land on either side of the leg or the ankle. Maybe we grab the foot. So letting, if this pose has a goal, let it be pleasure and breath. And then inhale, come on up. Help the right knee come into the chest. Right foot is on the floor, and you're gonna hug your right shin. Now, how close your right foot is to your groin, it's up to you, but make sure that, well, basically what's gonna guide you is, can you sit tall, right? If the body's feeling pretty tight today, you're probably gonna have to have your foot closer to the ankle, that's fine. But sit nice and tall, relax your shoulders. And then we're going to move into a twist. So turning the heart to the right, send the right hand back behind you, and then hugging the bent knee with the left arm. Lifting on the inhale, the chest away from the navel, and then on the exhale, turning the head to the right any amount.
So if you have a deeper variation of Ardha Matsyendrasana that you'd like to do, please go ahead and get into it. We'll be here for about 3 more breaths. Good, and then slowly untwisting, turn your head to the left. Come on out of it. We're gonna let that right knee fall open again, like we're gonna come into Janu Sirsasana again. However, I'm gonna have you turn your heart to the right so that the heart is now facing over your bent knee, and we'll take a side bend. Left hand comes to the inside of the leg, and right arm reaches up overhead, side bend. Chin slightly into throat, and to deepen here, you'd lean back a little bit, and maybe rotate the heart to the right. Breathing some more space into the right side body. Good, come on up. And kick out your right leg. Alternate bending the knees. And we'll do our second side. Left knee bends into chest, let the knee fall open. Taking our Janu Sirsasana, so inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold over, straightened leg. That's your right one. Grabbing a hold of something or resting the hands. Again, goal of, if there's a goal of this pose, breath and pleasure. As the inhale arrives, come on up. Help the left knee in. And finding that left foot position, what is going to help you get as vertical in the spine as possible. Hug it. Hug the shin, hug the leg. And then once you're nice and tall, up on those sits bones, we'll start to rotate the heart and head to the left. So left hand comes back behind you, hug that bent knee with right arm. Inhale to lift the heart away from the navel. Exhale to slowly turn the head to the left. And so even we're in this twist where we're seeing, can we keep the tops of the shoulders relaxed away from the ears? Good, and then inhale, slowly untwist the body. Let that left knee fall open again. And then rotate your heart quarter turn to the left. Heart's gazing over the left knee. Take it into a side bend. Right hand to the floor, left arm up overhead. And if maybe you have the tendency to kind of go really far, go really deep into poses like a big side bend, I encourage you to come out of it a little bit, like maybe lift the arm up overhead a little bit, and then just check, is your chest as open as it could be? And what would it be like if you approached this side bend with an open heart? So shoulders back, and then with a nice open heart, move back into it. Chin slightly to throat, maybe rotating heart and head to the left a little bit. A few more breaths. Nice and easy, slow breath. Good, come on up. And kick both legs out in front of you. And alternate bending the knees. Shake it out. Great, and then we're gonna come onto our belly for Sphinx pose. So go ahead, kick the legs back behind you. And you know what, transition before we go right into Sphinx, stack your palms on the mat and let's come into crocodile. So rest your forehead on stacked palms, kick your feet off the mat left and right, and then just resting here. And keeping your head and heart anchored to the floor, start to walk and wiggle your hips away from your chest so that you're creating as much space in the low back, in the spine as you can, creating a little traction in that spine. And then resting again. Let's take a couple soft belly breaths here in crocodile pose. Good, let's move to that Sphinx pose now. So you're gonna prop yourself up on your elbows. If you tend to have a tight or achy back, keep your feet a little wide. If you're feeling okay in your back today, you can bring your feet together. Moving your shoulders back behind you, lifting your heart. And draw the low belly in. And for some of you, maybe propping yourself up on your elbows feels like a little bit too much for the back. Maybe the low back's feeling like it's really getting crunched. You just walk your hands forward a little bit so then you're not up so high, and you could just cross your forearms, and then it's a little bit more of a milder chest opener, low back kind of bend. And I encourage everyone to draw your chin towards your chest. So that's what's going to keep the back of the neck long. But then you can still lift the head and open the neck while you're doing this. So the chin is towards the throat, actually. And then lift the head and gaze forward, keeping that chin towards the throat. Press your elbows down into the mat. Lift up out of the shoulders. Low belly's pulling in. One more round of breath here. And then let's return to the floor for crocodile once more. Palms stack, forehead rests on those palms, kick the legs wide. Maybe the heels want to fall in or fall out, what feels good for you. Let's take a handful of breaths in this resting, soft-bellied posture. Every time you inhale, can you breathe your belly into the mat? Push the belly into the mat with the inhale. And each time you exhale, feel the softness. Let something go. And so we're going to transition now onto our backs, but we want to be able to put our feet on the front edge of the chair. So rolling to one side, coming up if you need to find the front edge of your chair. And you're going to scooch close to the chair and then back to the mat, bringing the feet to the front edge of that chair. And then from here, scoot yourself as close to that chair as you can and rest the feet on that chair, thighs together. I like to think of this as like a reclined child's pose. And then you're going to extend your arms up and back behind you. Palms are going to face each other. Keeping the palms facing each other, draw the armpits towards the waist. So you're drawing your shoulder blades back and down the back. So now the arms are very straight and strong. Your shoulder blades are very strong onto the back. And then rotate your hands so that the back of the hands just rest on the mat now. Thumbs are pointing towards each other. Spread the fingers wide. Chin slightly towards chest. Let go of all effort in arms now. Let the elbows bend. Just kind of let them hang back behind you. Bring your left arm alongside your body and turn your head to the left. Gaze at the ceiling, bring the head through center, and left arm rests on the floor behind you. Letting go of any effort in that left arm, the left elbow can bend a little bit. Right arm alongside the body, second side, turn your head to the right. And then coming back through center, bring your left arm alongside the body as well. So now both arms are on the mat alongside the body. And go ahead and just extend your legs onto the seat of the chair. So we're now approaching our relaxation pose. You can just let the legs stay here for a relaxation pose, resting on the seat. Giving yourself a little bit of an inversion, or feel free to extend the legs long on the mat. Rotate the hands to face the ceiling so that the back of the hands are resting on the floor, and walk your shoulder blades towards each other and down the back till the neck feels nice and long. Shavasana.
If you can stay in Shavasana a little bit longer, please do. If you need to move on with the rest of your day, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Inviting in a sense of curiosity about what it is to have your body right now. What is it like to be in this body? And then eventually moving into a big morning stretch. And drawing the knees into the chest. One more hug of gratitude, thanking yourself for taking this time for yourself today. And then roll to one side, coming up nice and slow. We'll meet with our palms together in front of our heart. If you'd like to dedicate the benefits of your practice to someone special or someone special, visualize these beings right now. Imagine where they are in their day. Imagine you can send them any peace or pleasant feelings out with the exhale. Let's gather it up with an inhale. Send it out. See them relaxed, feeling strong, ready for whatever their week or their day has in store for them. Ready to be in that place of curiosity and not knowing. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste.